Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Little Town, where today we're harvesting rye because apparently I'm not finished that job yet. It's the only reason why. Plus I did some windrowing in Ventonwin recently, and oh yeah, that's my windrower. I didn't want to kind of do the same thing twice in the same week, so we're gonna work some rye today, just because I haven't had much harvesting done this week, basically. So, I'm saying so a lot today. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Alright, so, I know I said so again, deal with it. I wrote down what you guys wanted me to seed, and the winners were oats, sunflowers, and probably barley. How many fields do we have that we can seed? 1, 2, 3. Oats, sunflowers, and barley. We can probably get a couple more. There we go. So, quick little bit of information. And this isn't going to go down too popularly, I don't think. There's no multiplayer this week. And there's no multiplayer this week for a very simple reason. The map wouldn't work. That's honestly the reason. Today's Thursday as I'm recording this, so this video is going out tomorrow for me. And we tried recording multiplayer today, only for literally everybody but me to be lagging very heavily. So the plan is to try and figure out the problem during the week and get a video up next week, 2 videos up next week. So I do apologize for that. I can't control it. I have absolutely no control over that situation. We did everything we could. I reset my router. I tried setting up the server 3 or 4 times. It just wouldn't work. And yeah, that's the reason there's going to be no multiplayer this weekend. So there's a 1-week hiatus, which means I need to put up 2 different videos, which I'm hopefully going to record tomorrow morning. In theory, this could be fun. So the 2 videos going up this weekend are going to be hopefully Ventonwin, if I can get up early enough, because it's currently like 10 past 9 on Wednesday night. By the time I finish with this, it'll be almost midnight. I pretty much need to get all this done. I need to get this video recorded and uploaded and edited and rendered and all of that as quickly as possible, because I need to get to bed early in order to record in the morning. Because, in all honesty, and this is me being honest, in all honesty, streams do take a lot out of me. So sometimes the Monday video, you'll notice I'm a bit more down than the rest of the week. That's because I usually record them straight after a stream, and I'm quite tired. That's why sometimes you'll hear me just kind of being maybe a bit more weird and a bit distant on Mondays. It's all down to the streams. So I know that trailer's pretty much full, but what I'm trying to do is just finish this this field off, because, well, it doesn't really matter, but I'd like to go off with 100% in the trailer, so like when I sell the rye, and by the way, I'll be doing whole crop rye from now on. I'll be silaging this stuff from now on if I plant it. And yes, Little Town isn't dead. I decided to unkill it. I know I said I killed it last week. I decided to unkill it. I kind of like the idea of having 3 maps. And I also kind of like the idea of... Oddly enough, Ventonwin is now my main map. If you haven't noticed from the fact that I've been doing videos on Ventonwin all week, and the Little Town stream is being replaced by a Ventonwin stream. Reason for that is there's not a whole lot of off-camera work I can really do on this map. it ends up where I make loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of progress on Little Town, and it seems a bit silly the amount of progress I make, when in reality I could do a bigger map and make more progress on that. So Ventana is now the main map. It is going to be Sunday stream. Little Town I might stream on Saturday. I have no idea what Saturday stream is going to be yet, by the way. Saturday stream I may even decide on Saturday morning. I'm thinking it might be Chromagun, because I have heard good things about that game. I've seen some people play it, and I've seen some gameplay footage, and it seems quite good. It seems like a really quite okay Portal style game. It is a Portal style game. They're not. It's quite clearly inspired by Portal, but I've never played it, so maybe leave your thoughts about me playing Chromagun tomorrow in the description below. In the comments. Also, for those of you who don't mind swearing, this is not going to be a family-friendly thing, but I'm going to advertise it on my channel anyway. RainbowDave is now live, and I will be honest, it's a 1-month experiment at the moment. I have specific goals for that channel. If it does not meet those goals, I will be stopping it, but things will change over here instead. So don't worry, there's plans. There's actually 2 sets of plans in the works. So RainbowDave currently is kind of a test channel, in a way. But I do encourage you guys to go over and subscribe if you want to hear a completely different style from me. If you want to hear me being relaxed and just, chilling out playing a game, that's going to be that channel. That I have a week's worth of videos ready for. Well, not ready, but recorded. In a way, I'm glad the multiplayer didn't work, because I was getting a bit concerned about the amount of junk on my hard drive. I need to do a bit of a clear out someday. Need to tidy my room as well, but that's kind of a different thing. So we're doing quite well. I say if. When we're finished the field, we're actually going to go back to baling up the rice straw, because we need that for, I think we've got beef. Is it beef we got, or is it cows we got? Whatever animals we got. Now this map, we do have a lot of money. We've got £400,000, which is totally in pounds, because I totally didn't forget to change the currency yet again. Dave is smart. I swear I am actually intelligent. Just don't have a memory. But yeah, we got like 400,000. I'll bring up the HUD real quick. 420,000 yo monies. So we're not running low. We can buy pretty much every field on the map, I think. But do I want to? Probably not. I think the next thing I'm going to get, in all honesty, is going to be a bigger seeder, because the 3-meter one is fine, but it takes an age to do anything with. I'm probably going to see if I can... I'm probably going to go with, in all honesty, the Vaderstadt 6-meter. Just because, while it would be too big for the map, it's really the next step up. And I don't want to be spending an entire stream seeding, or an entire video, an entire 2 or 3 videos seeding, or spending a ton of time off camera seeding. I'm going to try and get this map running as efficiently as I can. And I know this harvest is possibly a bit big, and I should probably use the Clayson instead, but this harvester works for me, I guess, is my logic there, maybe. Is that logic? Or is that just me making excuses? Because I found the Clayson after I bought after I bought this. So we're almost done with this field. We're not going to fit the 7,000, probably 700 and something liters of rye into the trailer. but we're gonna make a good shot of it at least. Gonna fill up the trailer fully, bring that down over to the grain store, and then sell that off. So let's get over there. My ear is itchy. Bear with me, the camera's gonna go wonky. There we go. There we go, I had to scratch my ear. Which is always nice when you're just after starting a video. Well, I say just after starting. About 10 minutes in. So let's hop in the Massey here. And off we go with our 14,500 litres of rye. I'm probably not going to get a bigger trailer than this just because rye is the only crop that can't be stored. It was a mistake to plant this. I thought there was storage for rye on the map. There's not. And that's a bit of a shame. But, you know, things like that happen. I need to remember where exactly I want to go with this. So up comes the HUD again. If I continue along this... Okay, so I need to go down the other side of field 9. Or down alongside field 9, that's fine. So I'm doing my best to keep this 1250 in a somewhat straight line. It's just not... It's not a well-behaved tractor to begin with. Especially not at speed. And we are going maximum speed just for efficiency. So we need to turn here. And the shop will be down over here somewhere. I know where it is, I just kind of forgot because it's been about a week or so since I've been on the map. And now I'm trying to remember 3 maps all at once. This is going to end badly for me. I'm going to get lost a lot. Which, I guess some of you are going to say, well, that's no different from usual, Dave. You always get lost. Yes, I know, but I'm going to get lost more than usual. One thing I will say as well is the American mower. I've listened to some feedback. The American haybine mower is going away. I'm going to get something a bit more UK, I guess, is the best description. A bit more realistic for the style of map. That should work. Before anybody complains about me using this big articulated tractor, this is actually used in Ireland quite a lot. Or was. It's not anymore, but it is still... it is still occasionally used in Ireland and the UK. It's just not in production anymore, so it's not used as widely anymore. Because this is from 1979, the first model came out, I believe. Or the 1250, the first, first rolled off the assembly line. So, it's not exactly an old tractor. It's just, well, it is an old tractor, but it's not exactly rare or unusual to see in Ireland. But it is rare and unusual. I don't know what I was trying to say, but it is a thing you would see around Ireland and the UK. That's what I meant to say. I just didn't get my point across at all. I've just realised as well that I've taken the long route, because there was an entrance to the field up at the top there. Whoopsie. Please don't get stuck, please don't get stuck, please don't get stuck, please don't get stuck. Thank you. This is the side of a field where I'd like there to be an entrance, but there isn't, which is perfectly... Oh my god, have I got stuck against the traffic sign. Well, it knocked me back far enough that it freed itself instantly, which is nice. I'm kind of turning into Simula a bit in that I'm not making as many jokes about my silly mistakes of late. I don't know why. Well, today it's because I'm a bit tired and a bit stressed. There's been stuff going on behind the scenes that some of you know about, but not everybody knows about, and they're going to remain behind the scenes things that very few people know about. So let's grab the rest of the rye. Final 6,700 litres. Keep her in first. I know in reality this thing would have a gearbox, because... Is that the... No, that's the PTO position. One of those knobs is the gears. There's the gearbox. I know in reality you would be using a manual gearbox and clutch and whatnot. Not visible in this model, but you would. But the game gives everything a vario box. Or vario box. Not going the right way, not going the right way, not going the right way. Okay. So the field exit is actually up over here. And this should take us out onto a little kind of dirt path. There's the exit. And it comes out onto the dirt path, then feeds out onto the road. Where does this road feed us out is the question. If that's the shop over there, that means I need to turn this way. Yeah, it takes us up north of the shop, okay. Or above the shop even. Maybe not specifically north. So that means we need to go... I'm using the brake here to kind of modulate speed. I do like how well made this model is, I just don't like that there's no pedals for some reason. Off we go down this road again. So we're going to set off the rest of this rye. I really wasn't intending to set it all off, but none of the scripts or anything I have for rye are working, so it's kind of a necessary thing. Now in FS17 I might be able to use not alt tip, but tip anywhere, because that's a thing, and that's making a happy Dave. Hopefully the guys who make multi-fruit stuff will account for that being a thing, and map makers will account for that being a thing. I'd like to see maps where, say, you have to dump it into a shed, and depending on how it works, it looks like it works dynamically. Depending on how it works though, I'd love to see it so that you can get a telehandler or something and like fix up your grain piles. That'd be amazing. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if that's going to be a thing. I don't know how anything's going to work in FS17, but that's kind of how I'd like to see it. That's how I'd like to see it done. Well, that's how I'd do it myself if I had any coding knowledge and was working on Farm Sim. I guess. I've just realized I was meant to write up a document today. Oops. Well, today's been a complete write-off then, hasn't it? I was supposed to do like 3 things, and I'm only doing 1 of them. Oh, Dave, you're a genius. You're an absolute genius at times. I swear. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to park this up over here. Just leave it here. Turn it off and put on the handbrake, and... Ooh, I've left the harvester running. That was a dumb move. Gotta move this just into the middle of the field. Like this. Handbrake on. And it is this I want. The TM150. Now, I'm going to look out the back of this for one simple reason. That is not the way the bales are supposed to look. I'm actually going to do this outside a cab. Just because I've got a distinct feeling this is going to do something weird. Oh, it's fixed itself. As it fixed itself, it's wobbling a lot. It's vibrating a lot now. Is it going to do something funny or interesting? Please do something interesting at least. You're not going to do anything interesting, are you? No, you're not. You're just going to fall off. Be a normal... Oh, you did a flip. Close enough. So, again, we're bailing, and I do apologize for that, but there's not a whole lot else we can do. I know we did a lot of bale work over the last couple of days, and we did some windrowing a couple of days ago as well. But really, the only things that are currently needing doing on this map are bale work and windrowing. So, lesser of 2 evils, maybe, I guess. Perhaps. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish up doing the straight lines. I'll windrow it up off camera. I know I said I wouldn't do as much off camera work, but I do want to do some. Because there's a lot of windrowing to do off camera. We'll be back in this field probably next week. No, not next week, because there's cultivating that can be done as well. We'll be back next week in the field that had alfalfa. We need to cultivate that and get it reseeded. I don't know if I want to get a new cultivator or not. Do leave your thoughts on that in the comments, because hopefully you guys are watching. And remember, if you are liking if you are enjoying the videos, to hit the like button, because that helps the videos get noticed out there on YouTube. I've seen a few comments of from people who are trying to get their videos noticed, and unfortunately they're doing it the wrong way. Now, I'm not going to name names, but they are doing it the wrong way. Yeah, they're trying to get themselves noticed, but they're commenting on videos in precisely the wrong way. Like straight up advertising on videos. That's not how to get noticed on YouTube, guys. The way to get noticed on YouTube is to have your friends subscribe, or to we'll say if you make farm sim videos, put your videos into FSUK or into Mod Central. They've got specific sections for that. And if people like them, then they'll come over to you. Don't ever, no matter how big, how small, how desperate you are, don't ever comment on somebody else's video with, oh hey, I make videos too, something like, great video, I make videos too, you should come check me out. That gives you a bad name, and that's the one thing you don't want in farms, on YouTube in general, is a bad name. So, you gotta be careful what you do. And I know that I have, in the past, done stuff that I'm not very happy about with myself. Stuff that I don't agree with, necessarily. But some of it is stuff that needs to be done. If you want your channel to be noticed, if you want people to check out your channel, and we'll say in a live stream, instead of saying, hey, check out my channel, be helpful, be positive, interact with people. Because that's how people get to know your name, and maybe eventually they'll go check out your channel. Hell, that's how I found Simulate. He was in my streams for weeks, and I thought he was a really nice guy, so I went and checked out his channel. Really enjoyed it. And the next day in stream, I said, "Hey, Simulate, you make really good videos." I told everybody in chat that day to go check him out, and it wasn't many people, because I was still very small at the time. I know that Simulate's completely blasted past me, but I was a lot bigger than him at the time. It was kind of the situation that Simulate and I are in now, where I was way bigger and had some people who were very loyal and were coming in every day, and I knew everybody in chat at that stage. But now, unfortunately I can't remember every name, because there's too many of you guys, and that's kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time, because I did enjoy the days where I could remember everybody's name, and I got the same people coming to streams and commenting on videos. Now I do notice there are a lot of the same people doing that now, because I still read every comment that gets put on my videos. I'm not gonna stop doing that. I know Simulate does the same. He still reads every comment, but if he didn't comment on my streams, if he wasn't in my streams every day and make jokes and make fun of me and have a bit of fun, I'd never have spoken to him. I'd never have enjoyed his content. I'd probably never have found him until he got big, and more than likely we wouldn't be friends. But that's how YouTube works, is you need to be positive with other people's stuff, and take their stuff seriously for your stuff to be taken seriously. Like, yeah, I'm gonna give Banky a shout out here because he deserves so many more subscribers than he has. In his streams, when the TeamSpeak is on, when he's in TeamSpeak, you know, it's when it's full, it's, you know, me, Silver, Brad, M73, Landy Kid, and Simulating. I'll admit I'm by far the smallest and I feel very much out of place. But none of us go out of our way to push our channels. We just interact, we chat with each other, we share, you know, stories and maybe information. Like during the week, last week YouTube changed how streaming works, and I figured it out pretty quickly. I figured out what changes were made and how they're, you know, how it was working now, and I went on to Banky's TeamSpeak and explained it all to him on stream. You know, that's how you get that's how you get people to find you. I know that, you know, you're not all going to get into Banky's TeamSpeak or into Banky's streams, but if you're watching that stream where I was, you know, telling him what had happened with live streaming, I was talking about it in chat. I was explaining to him in chat first, and then I went into TeamSpeak and because I was invited in there, and I was, you know, I went into more detail about what was going on and told him, you know, that I felt it is, honestly, for people like him and people like me who stream a lot, it's probably one of the better changes YouTube have made, because it makes our videos a lot easier to find, especially if, you know, we publish our stream archives now. There's actually an added incentive to do that, because there's, you know, the YouTube the YouTube algorithm works off like likes and dislikes and comments, which doesn't sound like it does anything, but the more likes and dislikes a video gets, even if it's, you know, 20,000 dislikes and 0 likes, that video is going to do a lot better than a video with 6 likes and no dislikes. YouTube will push it just as much because there's a, you know, 20,000 individual incidents of engagement. That's how YouTube works. Now, that's the baling done, and I'm afraid that's all we got time for today. I really wish we could do more, but there's a lot that needs to be done, and before I can move on, and I need to get a lot of stuff done, so I'm kind of, I think that's about, yeah, I think that's all we can really fit in today, I'm afraid. So I'm going to see you next time. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a thumbs up below. If you got any complaints, most likely, knowing you guys, you found something I've done wrong. If you've got any complaints, do leave them below. Try and keep it civil. You know, if you enjoyed the video, please do say in the comments as well. And if you're brand new here and you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me every single time I see a new person coming in. I was talking to Simulate about this the other night. I like the number of new subscribers that are coming in. I'm loving the growth, but I'm greedy. I want more. I want to see more of you guys coming in. I want to see more of you guys enjoying my videos, and I want to see just more of everything. I would say greedy, but I think it's more that I want to continue improving, and that's what RainbowDave is about now, is constant improvement. And I know this is a bit of a weird video in a way, but I think I said a lot of stuff that needs to be said, especially about, you know, advertising and videos. So until later today during the stream, which by the way is at the normal times. I know a lot of you are going back to school. I'm gonna run the stream at the normal times for a couple of weeks and see what happens. I might move it in like 2 weeks time, so don't worry if you're going back to school and you missed the stream. I will be publishing archives from now on. You will be able to watch the entire stream. You might not be able to see it all live, but if you have, you know, 3 or 4 hours to spare somehow, you can definitely check it out while you're doing your homework or whatever. Especially those of you in school, put your homework first, seriously. That's far more important than watching a live stream. So until next time, I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching Farming Simulator 15 on Little Town. Screwed up my outro again. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.